And it's tough when you implement a full court press as the Eagles have, but if you want to pull it off, you have to watch out for that kind of thing, or you'll get burned, as the Eagles have at some points in this game. Well, the stand's beginning to fill up, and more and more as the game goes on, as I'm sure a number of them, knowing that the Norristown PW boys game is coming up, decided to catch some of this girls game and then see what should be an amazing game between the PW Colonials boys team and the Norristown boys team with a conference championship on the line. The PW varsity boys team sitting just to my left, listening to music, talking things over, getting ready for what's a pretty big regular season finale. Both of these teams are going to make the playoffs regardless, but still significant things on the line in that game. But right here, with the second quarter just underway, it's 17-11 Eagles in the matchup of the girls' teams. Mundy slinging it into the corner. That shot contested by Matthews. It was no good, and here's Wise. Trying to go by everybody, loses the ball, landed on it, and goes hard into the wall, but she's all right. But the Colonials are awarded possession. And a good defensive play by them to not allow Wise to just get an easy layup as they caught up to her, and that's easier said than done, and we're able to slow her down and force a turnover. Here's Taylor McGarvey getting it to Katie Jo Wacker. Now into the corner for Mundy, who thought about a three, decided against it. Drops it down low. That one's put up, and no good from Alyssa Butcher. And Brittany Rose grabs a rebound. Here comes the Eagles. Now they'll get it to Netta Wise. And now to Cache Hinton, the point guard. Aggressive. She'll get it down low to Rose, who is directly under the basket. And puts it up and in for two. Good move by Rose. Great pass by Hinton. And the Eagles are being real aggressive. They're not waiting long to find their shots. They're trying to drive and find some points in the paint, as they're so good at doing. And before the shot, a timeout called by John Quinn, the head coach of the PW Colonials. And they will talk things over. And they've got to be trying to figure out what to do with that Norristown press. They've handled it very well thus far, however. But they also got to be trying to figure out how they're going to stop the Eagles from driving into the paint on them. And when you have a playmaker like Netta Wise or Hinton getting into the lane, it's so easy for them to not only score, but to set up Harris, Blake, Matthews, Rose, whoever it may be who's playing down low, because all those players are just great finishers. So PW has to prevent Norristown's playmakers from driving the lane. So 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. It's 19-11 Eagles. This is NASD TV. I'm Mark Holodinsky, bringing you the action. Of course, the Eagles coming off a loss last night in which they were outscored by Cheltenham 62-38. Netta Wise with a great scoring output in that game as well, dropping 11. Tied for Tasha Matthews for the team lead. But it was Shyla Fielder and Cheltenham who were able to come out on top. Wise nearly stole that ball away, but it went out of bounds. So it'll be inbounded by Mundy and PW. It goes to Katie Jo Wacker, and now to Taylor McGarvey, who gets it to Caitlin Mundy as PW's trying to swing the ball around the perimeter, trying to find some kind of an open shot. Their offense has been pretty well held in check so far today. There's Taylor McGarvey being guarded by Cache Hinton, who's an excellent defender. There's Butcher getting it to Lexi Piazza, who had it go in and out and then back in again, and that's for three. Or that's actually foot on the line, they say, so a two. 19-13 is your score. The Eagles still with the advantage. Rifle of a pass inside for Harris, puts it up. Oh, she got it. Double teamed and all. It doesn't matter. Mercedes Harris is just too good down in there. And that was quite a bullet of a pass by Cache Hinton, who's racking up the assists now. Here's Taylor McGarvey losing it, but she got fouled. It's just the 4th team foul on Norristown, so no shots awarded. It's Cassie Hinton's first personal foul. And PW ready to inbound here. That was a foul on the floor. For a minute, I thought they were going to call it travel, but the foul occurred before the travel. And now 5 team fouls on Norristown. It's the 2nd foul on Brittany Rose. So 21-13 still, the Eagles on top, trying to avenge their loss earlier in the season to this PW team. That's a bad pass, and Wise has yet another steal. Loses it, gets it back, and now pulls out and looks to set something up, makes somebody miss, bounces it off of Matthews' shoe. Harris, though, ties her up, and we'll have a jump ball, possession arrow, Norristown. And a great play there by the Eagles to not give up on that play and end up keeping the ball. Devin Blake, who started tonight, will check back into the game after a short rest. And goes out to get Brittany Rose. The Eagles inbound to Matthews. Now to Hinton. Gets it to Wise. Now inside to Harris, and she was grabbed. And I don't blame PW, because if you don't foul her when she's that deep in the post, it's pretty much an automatic bucket. And now that's 17 fouls on PW, so it's a 1-and-1 for Mercedes Harris. Mercedes Harris with 4 so far on the night. Trying to add to that from the line. She does. And with that free throw, she gets the point and gets another. It's now 5 for Harris. Netta Wise, though, still leading the Eagles with 8. And 7 for Angie Brannigan for PW, who was off to a real fast start and has since slowed down a little bit. And Mercedes Harris hit the second. Hit the back end of the 1-and-1 to hit a pair. That pass was deflected, but it ends up going right to Butcher, who missed the first attempt, but the second attempt, she was fouled. It's a shooting foul, so 2 shots for the 5'10" sophomore, Alyssa Butcher. Fouls on Devin Blake, it's her first. And Butcher missed the first. Head coach Ashley Harrison talking things over with her point guard, Cashay Hinton, trying to figure out what the Eagles' next move will be. Ashley Harrison, in her first year with these Eagles, was with Wissahickon last year. Second free throw's no good, so Butcher can't get either one of them. Matthews astutely lets that one go out of bounds without a save attempt. And the Eagles take possession with 5 minutes, 13 seconds to go in a 23-13 game in which they have the advantage. Here's Wise. She's really been getting stronger and stronger as the season's gone along. There's Wise. Getting it to Hinton. Tried to get it inside to Harris. Would have been a tremendous pass, but too dangerous, and it's a turnover. PW gets it to McGarvey. Now a corner 3 is missed. The rebound is hauled in by PW, and a dribble violation. And the Eagles force another turnover, something they have been very good at doing today and all season long. It's a huge part of their game. And so much of it comes from their athleticism and their ability to get in people's faces. Here's Wise getting it to Blake. Now to Matthews. Puts it up. Couldn't get the shot to go, but gets fouled. So 2 free throws coming up for Matthews, who hit a pair already in this game in as many attempts. And Natasha Matthews headed to the line with 4 points so far tonight. Last night, again, dropped 11 to lead the team. And the first one's no good. When these teams met earlier in this season in January, Matthews dropped 9. Led the team in scoring in that game as well. And Matthews hits this free throw as well. So Matthews now has 5. She's 3 for 4 from the line today. That one deflected by Wise and picked off by Hinton. Cache Hinton getting it to Harris. Drives the lane and puts it up and in. Mercedes Harris. Wow, she's just so great at finishing. And Wise jumping on the back of Samantha Seipar, who is into the game for the first time for the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials. But boy, in the girls' varsity game at the high school level, you just don't see people finish at such a high rate all the time. But Harris really does just that. And it's going to be 1-1 for Samantha Seipar, and that's not a good foul by Wise. She's done a lot of things right today, but that was a rare mistake for her. Going for a steal near midcourt and ended up giving Samantha Seipar 1-1, and she hits the front end. That's a good foul if you still have fouls to give, but the Eagles do not. Seipar for her second. Hit both ends of the 1-1, and it's a 26-15 game. The Eagles really putting the pedal to the metal here in the second quarter, extending the gap to 11. Here's Rose getting it, trying to get it inside to Matthews. It was deflected, and Harris ends up with it and dribbles it back out. Here's Hinton getting into the corner for Rose. Inside for Matthews with two Colonials surrounding her. She puts it up and in. That's 7 for her now, and boy, she's just so great inside, not only scoring the ball, but one thing we haven't even seen that much of yet, but we know we will, is that rebounding dominance that she has inside. There's Samantha Seipar. A long 2 is up and good for Piotrowicz. And the Eagles coming back up the floor the other way. They gave her 3 on that, so apparently she was behind the line. Pass for Harris. She's being harassed by Lexi Piazza. Gets to Hinton for her second 3 of the game. It's no good. The teams wrestle for the rebound, but they call a held ball, and possession's going to go back to PW. Good hustle, though, by the Eagles, trying to keep that rebound alive. And here comes Caitlin Mundy and the PW Colonials. Trailing by double digits now. It's 28-18. Move the ball around and find a offensive rebound after a missed shot. And Caitlin Mundy, 5'5" junior point guard. She's going to shoot 2 because she was fouled as she took the shot. So Caitlin Mundy goes to the line looking for her first points of the game. It's up. It's good. So Caitlin Mundy, I'm thought of more as a pass-first point guard, able to get the point here. And she looks for one more. Her free throw's up, and it's good. Mundy gets the roll, and it's 28-20 Eagles with 2 minutes and 40 seconds before we break for halftime. Here's Rose. Getting to Hinton. Now Rose is open in the corner, decides against the 3. Rose has had a couple of opportunities to take an open 3, but has passed them up, so I don't know if that's something Ashley Harrison wants her to do or if it's just she's been a little gun-shy tonight. But she can hit that 3, there's no doubt about that. John Quinn, head coach of the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials, barking signals to his defense. Now Rose tries a 3, and it's no good. Hinton with the offensive board. Gets it to Harris. Long, dangerous pass across for Hinton, or maybe it was for Rose, but either way, Hinton ends up with it. And 1:57 to go in the half now. And Rose in the corner. Eagles moving the ball around, being patient. Gets it inside to Matthews, up off the glass and in. Natasha Matthews now with 9. And she's now the leading scorer for the Norristown Eagles. That went inside for Piotrowicz, and she got it and one. More fans streaming in. Getting ready to catch the second half of PW Norristown girls, and then the whole PW Norristown boys contest, which we have coming up at the conclusion of this game. Megan Pietrowicz' free throw is good. And with a minute and a half to go in the half, it's now a 7-point lead for the Eagles. So their lead, they built it up considerably in the second quarter, but now it's beginning to dwindle down a little bit. They've just had great success inside, though, with Harris and Matthews. Let's see if they can continue to go to it. Hayton's done a great job of being the facilitator and getting them the ball in situations in which they could score. Blake with that hook shot, and Devin Blake with her first points of the game, and she loves to use that hook shot. 60 seconds to go now in the quarter. Alyssa Butcher missed the jumper. Rose grabbed the rebound and was fouled by the much smaller Caitlin Mundy. And that's going to be 1-1 for the Eagles, so a terrible foul by Caitlin Mundy. Really had no chance at that rebound. I mean, Brittany Rose has literally 7 inches on her and a couple of pounds, too. And they call the bump, and it's going to be 1-1 for Brittany Rose, who's an excellent, excellent free throw shooter. Brittany Rose puts it up and banks it in. The Eagles subbing out some offense for some defense as they bring Nicole Graham into the game for the first time with under a minute to go in the half. Nicole Graham, sister of former Norristown point guard Russell Graham, who was on that state runner-up team last year and now playing for New Hampshire at the collegiate level. And Graham now here covering Caitlin Mundy, Nicole Graham, that is. They swing it across, and Devin Blake gets a steal. Now gets it to Graham, who got bumped. Nothing called. She puts it up and puts it in. You credit Devin Blake with a great steal and a smart pass there, and a good job to push the ball ahead and not get fouled, because if she would have got fouled, that would have eliminated the fast break opportunity to get the easy basket. Now a backcourt violation forced by the Eagles, and they have a chance to really put an exclamation point mark on this last minute. Just over the past 30 seconds, they've outscored Plymouth Whitemarsh 6-0. So they've been scoring in bunches here, really doing a great job of winning the last minute, and that's so important in basketball games. As Harris puts it up and just banks it in. That's what she's been doing all night long and all season long. And she is up to 10 into double digits. Here's Caitlin Mundy getting into the corner for Katie Jo Wacker. Now they get it back out to Pietrowicz, who puts up the jumper off the glass. No good. Rebound, Matthews, no time to get a Hail Mary shot off. And the Eagles dominate the last minute of the half, turn what was a 7-point lead into a 15-point lead. And after one half of play, it's the Norristown Lady Eagles 38, the Plymouth Whitemarsh Lady Colonials 23. Mercedes Harris led the way. She's the leading scorer after one half with 10. Matthews and Wise with 9 and 8 respectively. Angie Brannigan with 7 for the Colonials, and all of them coming early in the second and in the first. So we will rejoin you right after a short intermission break, but for now, I'm Mark Kolodinsky on NASD TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.